It's 11:40 p.m. on April 14th, 1912. I'm standing on the deck of the RMS Titanic, and I only have 2 hours and 40 minutes before this ship goes underwater and 1,500 people die right in front of me. I've done a lot of these time travel vlogs, Tudor London, ancient Rome, but nothing prepared me for this. Let me take you back to the beginning of this day, because what I saw on this ship, you need to know about it. Southampton, England, April 10th, 1912. I arrive 4 days before the sinking. The plan is simple. Document everything, don't change anything, get out before midnight on the 14th. The Titanic is insane in person. 882 feet long, 11 stories tall above the waterline. Standing next to it felt like standing next to a skyscraper laid on its side. 2,224 people on board, passengers and crew. 3 classes. First class ticket cost around $4,350 in 1912. That's over $150,000 today. Third class passengers, mostly immigrant families headed to America, were kept below deck, locked behind iron gates. Those gates mattered a lot on the night of April 14th. The next 4 days feel almost normal. The food in first class is genuinely unreal. I'm talking 10-course dinners, oysters, filet mignon, roasted duck, French ice cream. The dining room looks like a palace, crystal chandeliers, real silverware. The famous last dinner on April 14th started with hors d'oeuvres and oysters, then consommé Olga, a rich beef soup, poached salmon, filet mignon, roasted squab, Waldorf pudding, and French ice cream. Meanwhile, third class was eating beef stew and bread. Still more than most of them ate back home, but the contrast was jarring. What gets me is how happy everyone is. People are dancing in the lounges. Kids are running on deck. Wallace Hartley is leading the ship's band every evening. They're playing ragtime. Everyone's laughing. And I know what's coming. Every single one of those laughs has an expiration date. Here's what nobody talks about. The Titanic received at least 6 iceberg warnings on April 14th alone. 6 from other ships in the area. The ship's wireless operators, Jack Phillips and Harold Bride, were overwhelmed with passenger messages. Rich first-class passengers were paying them to send personal telegrams to New York. One ship, the Masaba, sent a direct warning about a massive ice field directly in their path. It never made it to the bridge. Captain Edward Smith was 62 years old, and this was supposed to be his retirement voyage. He kept the speed at 22 knots, nearly full speed, through waters other ships were treating like a minefield. Why? The White Star Line wanted a fast crossing. They wanted headlines. They wanted to show up in New York Harbor and make the papers. Speed over safety. In 1912, on a ship they were calling unsinkable. 11:40 p.m. I'm on the deck. The night is completely clear. No moon, dead calm ocean, which is actually the worst condition for spotting icebergs because there are no waves breaking at their base. The lookouts in the Crone Nest, Frederick Fleet and Reginald Lee, are working with no binoculars. Their binoculars were left behind in Southampton by accident. At 11:40 p.m., Fleet sees it. He rings the bell 3 times, danger ahead, and calls the bridge, iceberg right ahead. First Officer Murdoch orders hard to starboard, engines reverse. They had 37 seconds. 37 seconds. The ship doesn't hit it head-on. It grazes the iceberg along the starboard side, below the waterline. From the deck, most passengers don't even feel it. Some describe it as a slight shudder. Some don't feel it at all. But in the belly of the ship, the boiler rooms, the mail room, the damage is catastrophic. A 300-foot gash. 5 of the 16 watertight compartments are breached. The ship was designed to survive 4, not 5. Thomas Andrews, the ship's architect, walks the damage within the hour. He does the math in his head, right there in the corridor. He tells Captain Smith the ship will sink in 1 to 2 hours, and there are 2,224 people on board and 20 lifeboats, with a total capacity of 1,178. What happens next is where it gets dark. The lifeboats start launching at 12:45 a.m. And here's the thing, they're not even full. Lifeboat 7, the first one launched, had capacity for 65 people. It left with 28. Why? Because people didn't believe the ship was sinking. It was too big, too modern. The officers were too calm. First-class passengers didn't want to get in a small lifeboat in the middle of the ocean when they had a warm, lit, enormous ship beneath their feet. By the time the reality set in, it was too late. The third-class passengers trying to get to the lifeboats faced locked gates, no guidance, no announcements in their language. Many of them never made it topside. Wallace Hartley and his band played on the deck the entire time. They never stopped. Witnesses say the last song they played was a hymn, Nearer, My God, to Thee. All 8 musicians died. At 2:17 a.m., the forward funnel collapses. The ship splits in two. The bow goes down first, pulling hundreds of people still clinging to the stern back under. The water temperature was 28 degrees Fahrenheit, 1 degree below freezing. Survival time in that water? 15 to 45 minutes. 1,500 people were in that ocean. The lifeboats, half empty, rowed away. Only one came back. Lifeboat 14, led by Officer Harold Lowe. By the time it returned, most people were already dead from hypothermia. I got off the ship at 2:10 a.m., 7 minutes before it split. I've been doing these time travel vlogs for a while now. I've seen a lot, but I keep thinking about Wallace Hartley playing violin while the ship went down, about the families in third class who never got a warning, about the lifeboats rowing away from people screaming in the water. The Titanic wasn't just a tragedy, it was a system failure. Every warning was ignored, every corner was cut, and the people with the least power paid the highest price. 1,503 people died on April 15, 1912. The Carpathia rescued 710 survivors. If you want me to go deeper on any part of this, the survivors' stories, what happened to the officers, the full investigation, let me know in the comments. And if this hit different, you already know what to do.